What's going on? Boys, thanks to our patrons and Fiverr customers, subscribe to our Patreon free for behind the scenes stuff. Arm yourselves, typology stuff. Now, I think we got up to 22 last time, so we will start there. Now, INFJs exist to cultivate an image. Perception is the only thing they care about because they don't have the ability to do or to be anything else. They want the clout of a person who can do something, or they want to know what it feels like to be perceived as an X person. They want to be desired. They don't want to do something to make themselves desirable. They want the end product. But this is where priming comes in because they can't because they're inept or stupid, or they won't because they're lazy, do anything. But they still want to feel that clout, they still want that self-image, and they use people to make themselves feel the way they want to feel without their needing to do anything or to be anything, to hold themselves to any real standards or to accomplish anything worthwhile. Why accomplish something when you can make people think you've accomplished something, or when you can position yourself as someone who's accomplished something? And with INFJs, that's a big topic because that's what their existence is. But today we're talking about one of the methods they will use to accomplish that goal, and it's priming. Real Epsteinian nature. Because priming operates on the law of reciprocity and it takes advantage of your decency. They always take advantage of the better parts of your nature. So when you're dealing with an INFJ, the first thing you'll notice is they will start giving you things they think you want. And what they'll do is, if they can get you to engage with them, quickly they will key into what you actually want. So you'll know one of these people is beginning to prime you when they are giving you pretty quickly an array of positive things. And if you bite, quickly they will zero into one or two things that they focus on giving you. And then what they do is they give you these things without asking for much, if anything, in return. And what they're doing is they are building up your reliance on them, or your familiarity with them. It's like a new appliance. Before you got this nifty new appliance, you didn't need it, probably didn't want it. But now that it's here and you're using it, it becomes part of your day-to-day, and that's what they're doing. They are using this positivity to get their foot in the door of your life. And they keep this up until they think you are primed enough to go along with whatever bullshit they are or have been intending for you. And this could be getting you to give them something or to sleep with them. It could be getting you to do something for them. It could be wielding influence over you generally. They love that. That's why they target people they think they can do this with. Forward, aggressive, independent people tend not to have not just INFJs, but also FJs in general around them. Because FJs know a person like that, their shit won't work well with. So if you find yourself dealing with INFJs often, they come around and they do this shit at you, take that as a sign you need to build yourself up a bit more. You're too easy to make dependent, and you're also not aggressive enough. They hate embarrassment. You need to know how to embarrass them and be willing to embarrass them immediately. You deal with INFJs by making them feel ashamed in ways they can't argue with. And in spaces people will know. Anyway, once they feel you are primed enough, they will try something on you. It doesn't really matter what it is, there are always two factors. One, it will be to disrespect you, and two, it'll be to inflate their ego. It could the actual thing could be anything, but those will be the two characteristics of the thing they do. And what they're banking on is you, by this point, should have become dependent enough on them they can get away with it. Either you now need them in your life, or you doubt this. It's a. Your instinct. I was watching General Zay videos. You know instantly, based on nothing, if someone will be a problem in your life. And you, because you're stupid, because you're decent, you give people chances, or you doubt your read. They believe they have gotten in with you enough, you will ignore your own inner voice, your own threat detection. Now, they all use this tactic. The problem is some are embarrassingly bad at it, and others are really good at it. Which is why you need to hone your threat detection early. Know how to identify them. Know. Because that's another thing. They are all the same person. I repeat this often, but ENTJs. I've had plenty of, mostly negative experiences with ENTJs, but they're still my favorite type. Why? Because there is so much variation between the individuals. They still act according to their cognition, but they are by no means all the exact same person. INFJs, they are all the exact same person. They will not surprise you. You need to learn that and act immediately. And what if a person who is showing all these signs isn't an INFJ? Do you still take action? Yes, you take action immediately. Why? Because these behaviors are parasitic. They're manipulative. You're letting a weaker, smaller, stupider, uglier sort of person get over on you. That's what bothers me most about them. There are tons of manipulative sorts of people in the world, and tons of ways to manipulate people. I don't like them, but I really don't like INFJs because they are antithetical to anything I believe in or care about. You should deal with all people who use these behaviors the same way, but INFJs get under my skin bad because they're a mechanism that punishes you for trying to do anything decent or to figure anything out. They make the species worse. We won't go in circles here, you get the idea. Beware people who do for you without doing for you, especially if it starts general shotgun approach trying to figure out what you're about and then gets specific. They're doing this to build influence over you so they can treat you however they want, which usually means disrespecting or gaslighting you in service of the person they want to feel they are or they want people to see them as. And they're using you and others to build this self-image, both because they can't do anything for themselves or think anything for themselves, and also because you, or your sort of person, among all sorts of people, are the easiest targets for them to do this with. That's probably why so many INFJs like 4chan and these loser cultures. They don't believe themselves to be among these people, and it's not even a matter of fascination with them wondering about their lives. That's something they say they do, and I believe they do it, but that's not why they're doing it. They get into these groups, put themselves around these groups, because this is a target-rich environment. And I wasn't really joking about the Epstein-y thing earlier in the video. One of the stories I heard from a minor, sorry, by the way, if you're watching this, the Discord server is 18 plus, and I mean it. You're under 18. We don't do Epstein-y shit on the Skimmerlit channel. We aren't like you. Anyway, this underage dude got groomed by an INFJ male, as they do. And the story followed all the beats. Because they have one playbook. They are one person. They do things one way for one reason. The variation comes from how good they are at doing it, or how well they know whom they can target and how to target them. But they all operate the exact same way. In terms of existing to manipulate people, if types are kingdoms of mimetic species, INFJs are the species that has practiced one kick 10,000 times. I hate them because in those rare instances, like with that woman, they work. The kick works. You have other instances, the kick doesn't work and all it does is irritate you because you were hoping they would surprise you still because you're dumb, hoping people would be different or better, and then they aren't. It's frustrating. But it's those singular times they get you using exactly the tactics you know to watch out for. That's what's maddening. They are true poison, and if I had my one wish, they wouldn't exist. And that's another thing, the frustrating thing. It's the ones who are impotent that think that shit will work on you that irritates me. They don't get you the way they're trying to get you, but they manage to make you angry. It's like a homeless person trying to order you around after seeing a powerful person order you around. You don't like it, whatever it comes from, but the homeless person doesn't realize you're a brick carrier. A small person trying that shit on you it's a level of disrespect that is infuriating. Not because it'll work, because these lower people are incompetent, but it's their idea it could work. Because it has, in fact, worked on you before when applied by better people. I know this is a pride thing, and I suspect eventually I'll get past this. But even if I do, that won't change the fact that the behavior is disgusting. They're all disgusting, top to bottom, but this particular behavior is irritating and gross. And that's the other thing about the priming. They switch up. That's how you know this image and influence thing is the only thing they're ever thinking about. If you don't understand them, there will appear to be no reason behind what they're doing or no way to reason with them. One of the tactics they love, they get you to explain things over and over and over again. Because they live in semantics, INFJs. What they're doing with that is if they can get you to explain the same thing over and over again, they're tiring you out, so you don't want to resist. You're tired of even bothering. They are trying to get you to slip, and they'll appear really stupid and dense while they're doing this, but if there is one hint of a slip, they will jump on it. Because they're not dense. This is a tactic. They understand you perfectly fine. They are playing you. And then what they do, once the topic is sufficiently watered down and you're tired, maybe you've slipped on something, they will not argue, because in this hell there is no arguing to be done. It's all words. And they love fog because you can cast illusions in fog. They it's like Norm Macdonald talking about how you can be a comedian without being funny if you know how to prompt people. Patrice O'Neill talked about the same thing. They will use positioning and consensus sentiments to position themselves as the person people should listen to. And they don't win that way because nothing is being argued or accomplished, but they feel like they've won. People look at them like they've won, and that's all that matters. Two people who don't care about figuring anything out, or building systems, or accomplishing anything for themselves. It's all image. That's why they do this shit. And you shouldn't fall for it. The moment they start it, it's not going to get any better. Even if you're thinking about this from a cost-benefit, risk-reward proposition, in most situations you are better off taking the loss that you let them be able to put you in, instead of going deeper in, because the further in you go, you'll accomplish nothing and it'll just be that much worse by the end. What you need to do is embarrass them immediately. That's my mistake. That's all these INFJs I've been dealing with these last few months. Every single one of them, they all do the exact same thing. I let them walk away instead of really slamming them and hurting their feelings. Which is tricky because I never know what will or won't hurt an INFJ's feelings, or to what degree, at least in this context. But you can at least try, or should at least try. That's been my mistake. Attack their image immediately, and be unfair if you need to. They will never play fair with you. And I think the way to target them going forward is to point out the fact they groom people, they use groomer tactics, and they target people they feel they are superior to. Anyway, be aware of priming. Don't let them take your time or waste your time. In fact, moving forward in life, if you get one whiff of an INFJ, don't deal with them. We've gotten to the point, I'm sure they'll still get in and still get over, but you know now, because you've seen it, there is no other way they can be or act anything good they can accomplish. Stop hoping. Stop extending them human courtesy. That courtesy is what they'll use to fuck whatever you have up. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't.